Hola, hola. Welcome to Blank Canvas. In today's episode, we're going to talk about, let's say, tattoo queens. That's what I chose.
Love it.
It's the females' position in this male-dominated industry. So today with us is Melanie.
Hi.
Hello, Melanie.
Hello.
We're going to put our social medias here. I'm Ink by Ale. This is Blank Canvas. And if you can share your Instagram.
It's tattoos by Melanie _.
Underscore, okay.
Underscore, yeah, the underscore. There's a lot of fake accounts, so there is a lot
careful.
of fake accounts.
We don't like fake accounts.
No.
So before we're going to start, Melanie, I know you already said you like
Yes,
tequila.
I do. I love tequila.
We're going to do a little shot, as always. We're going to try different tequila today, but it's all good. But this is, talking about females, this is like Kendall Jenner tequila thing.
Oh, is that the brand?
Yeah.
I've never tried it, actually.
So-
I've seen it before. I didn't know that was their brand.
Yeah, it's massive. It has a lot of ups and downs, I think. People have their comments on it. So I was like, well, why not? Let's give it a try. So this is a massive shot glass, though.
Yeah, it's big. It's a nice shot glass.
Yeah, I stole it.
Even better.
If you go with me to bars, and I fell in love with shot glasses because I love doing shots in bars, I always put it in my little bag.
Just shove it straight into your pocket. That's all right.
Yeah, that's right.
Right,
Yeah. We got lime and tahini if you feel like. If not,
Okay.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, cheers. Got some. Thanks for
Cheers.
coming.
Mm.
What do you think?
That's good. It's smooth.
Yeah. It's not that bad though. It's a bit
That's
smoky.
actually quite nice.
Thanks for making it.
Thank you for having me.
I'm very happy for you to be here and taking
Thank you.
time of your busy schedule. I know you're about to go to LA.
Yes.
Yeah,
About to go to
excited?
LA. Very, very excited. I was meant to go at the end of last year again, but I had to cancel a couple of trips. So finally actually happening. So very keen.
Oh, that's amazing. So before we jump to the topic, we always do a little bit of introduction.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys know who is Melanie. You're going to go check their Instagram. Amazing work. If you can explain us a little bit of how do you become in the industry, and first, what is your style of tattoo? I know you
Okay.
do a little bit of horror.
Yeah.
We're going to put your best works, all of them,
Yeah.
in here.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Well, I am a black and grey dark realism artist, so I focus solely on like horror, gore, just anything that's like kind of dark and satanic and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not satanic though. Everyone really like.
Everyone thinks that.
Everyone tells me I'm going to hell all the time just because of my
That's
artwork. But yeah, that's kind of what I specialize in. I've been doing it for like 8 or 9 years. It's really hard to tell after COVID because we didn't tattoo for a good 2 years
Yeah.
there. So it's that kind of...
COVID doesn't count.
Yeah,
It's
there
like-
was like a gap in there. So I'm like, I don't even know how long I've been tattooing for
Yeah.
anymore. So it's been about roughly 8 or 9 years, I think.
8 or 9 years. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Is it always been, did you like learn in Melbourne, Australia all the
Yeah,
time?
so I kind of bounced around a lot in like really like scummy tattoo shops during
Okay.
my apprenticeship, and then I started at Addicted when I came off my apprenticeship, and I was there for about 6-7 years.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling to Melanie the first time I saw you was with Addicted to Ink
Yeah,
when you was in
I
the
was there
expo.
pretty much my entire career, so
Yeah.
I owe them a lot for that.
That's great. I mean, everything's about experiences in life, no? So
Yeah.
if you jump to different studios, you're always going to learn something for all
Yeah,
of them.
that's kind of where I'm at now, and kind of
Yeah.
I need a lot to learn, and that's why I'm traveling a lot, because I kind of flatlined a little bit because I was around the same people and the same artists.
Yeah.
And like I think in this industry, you need to grow.
Yeah.
You need to keep growing, otherwise you get stuck in a rut and you just don't get any better.
That's 100% true.
Yeah.
And I feel like we were talking before not long ago with another tattoo artist, tattoo expos. It's like Australia is quite a small community.
Yeah, well, everyone knows everyone
Yeah.
here. It's actually
But for
compared to-
gossips.
No, yeah, but compared to like other countries, I think we're probably the most supportive industry.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like in Melbourne, I think because everyone knows everyone, everyone's so lovely to everyone. I think it used to be a little bit nasty, but I don't think it is anymore. I think everyone's just very
Yeah.
supportive of each other.
Yeah, like I can see it right now. Like when I text you, I'm like, I don't even know if she's gonna say yes or no.
No,
But
yeah,
you're
well, definitely.
here.
I don't think
Love it.
anyone's like that anymore. I think everyone used to be like so competitive with each other, but like
Yeah.
now everyone's got their own niches and styles. We don't need to be competitive.
That's true.
Yeah.
And it's been like a hard times. I feel like everyone is just supporting each other because
Yeah.
we're all in the black hole.
Yeah, we're
So
all
it's like-
kind of going through it together. Everyone slowed down together, and it was kind of nice seeing everyone go through the same thing, even though you didn't want everyone to be going through the same
Yes,
thing. It
yes.
felt a bit more comforting.
It's good to have that support, definitely.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to become a tattoo artist? Like 9
it
years
was
ago.
kind of solely by accident. I was in uni doing interior architecture, and I was like, I don't want to do this for the next 5 years. And I don't know if I'm going to be any good at it. Yeah. And I had like a friend that was working in a tattoo shop at the time, one of my really good friends. And his boss saw like my drawings on Instagram and, you know, asked me to come in and offered me an apprenticeship. And I was like, yep, cool. I'm not going to uni. I'm going to become a tattoo artist. Yeah. And it just worked out really well for me. So I had it pretty easy compared to a lot of people, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. Like,
it's very hard to get an apprenticeship. And like, I feel really bad because I had it quite easy. Yeah. And it was kind of just offered to me. 100%. It was kind of never a part of the plan to like go into shops and show portfolios and stuff like that. Yeah. So obviously they saw something in my drawings.
They do. Yeah. It's very rare that those things happen. So it's very rare that someone will approach you and say, hey, come become. Yeah. But at the same time, it feels, I don't know, because I got a little bit the same way.
Yeah, I went
and got a tattoo. And the guy was tattooing me. We ended up like, the appointment was like for 5 hours. So we were talking. And I was like, well, I used to draw, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, show me. And then he was like, oh, you want to become a tattoo apprentice?
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
And I didn't take it serious at first. I was like, oh, cool. Like, tattoo apprentice. But then I'm like, fuck, I can actually become
I think it's like getting an apprenticeship is kind of who you know as well. And if you hang around tattoo shops, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's like a little bit of breeze when people say like, hey, you got so much in you that let's jump in it.
Yeah, it's nice that people see it and you're like, okay, I didn't see that.
They believe in you, so it's not as hard. But yeah, it's becoming harder and harder to become a tattoo apprentice, unfortunately.
Yeah, it definitely is. And because I think in Melbourne especially, we have so many talented people in Melbourne in general that we kind of like, we've pumped so many people into the industry and there's so many of us that it's just harder to get an apprenticeship because there's just too many already and everyone's slowing down with work. No one wants to give out apprenticeships anymore.
That's true. Yeah. Again, talking about the females' representation in this industry. When you was an apprentice, was it a male? How was the studio? Like, it was mainly male dominated?
Well, because I was in quite a few. Like, I think I did my apprenticeships in like, I think it was like 4 or 5 different shops there. Like, otherwise there was like issues with the shop or they shut down or like I kind of bounced around a little bit. It was mostly males, but I was just kind of lucky that I didn't really get too much of like they didn't treat me too badly because I was female.
So you were like the little princess of the shop.
Well, I think because I kind of grew up a little bit rough. So I feel like they just never saw me as that little sweet little girl, like a girl, you know what I mean? Yeah. I just kind of acted like a guy at the shop and I feel like that helped me a lot, acting like a bloke.
Yeah, I definitely think that I had that too. Yeah. When I actually, I was talking with a friend, when I opened my portfolio on Instagram and I create my account, I didn't even put my name. So I had like it was called Moods Inc. Yeah. And the photo was like a draw and I didn't post any social media of my face.
Yeah, I was exactly the same for most of my apprenticeship. I kind of wanted to prove a point because males were so, you use your body or your face to get tattoos. I kind of built up a following just based on my work. And then out of nowhere, I'm like, I've already got a following. I might as well post my face now.
That's true. I got to the point now, like after being in it for 5 years. And I'm like, when I started, I'm like, it was funny because they would text me or people would rock to the studio to get tattoo. And they were like, hey, I'm looking for this dude. And I would be like, hi, everybody. And they're like, oh, shoot. And they would text me like, hey, bro. Like, hey, mate. And I'm like, yeah,
I feel like that's so much better, though. It's so much better. I like that. And everyone's like, if anyone does try and call me out on being a female, like, doing that, but like no one knew what I looked like for ages. Like they knew what my name was, but they just didn't know what I looked like because I had a personal account where I posted all that stuff and that was private, not on my work page.
Yeah. So you took that decision to prove them like, fuck you, just because I'm a male, I'm gonna grow with not knowing who I am.
Yeah, and because especially in my apprenticeship, I did like a lot of like mandala and dot work stuff, like all the girly work. Yeah. And I got hired originally. Because being a female, they thought that's the kind of work I was going to do. And I was like, no, fuck this. I'm going to do horror and gore.
Yeah, love it.
So no one actually thought I was like I looked the way I look doing that kind of work. So when you looked at my profile, you don't expect me to come out the other side because I was very much less tattooed and stuff as well. Yeah. It was good. It was a good feeling.
Wow, that's funny. And how do you think, like after the years and you built your portfolio and of course all your followers, how is it expressed, like how the guys in the industry now, they feel like approaching you? You feel it's more respected now?
It is more respected. Like sometimes, like, because I am posting more about my personality and stuff and like, because I have the TikTok account, you need to show personality with TikTok. Yeah. You can just show your work and it's not really going to get you too far. You need personality on TikTok. So I feel like I've got into a point that I proved myself enough that like males in the industry have seen that I've proved myself enough and I've like I can back myself up.
Yeah.
You know?
So they respect it
Yeah.
more.
If I was tattooing shit work and doing like posting what I
Yeah,
was
that's
posting,
true.
then it's a different story.
Yeah.
But that goes both ways as well.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, that definitely happens. And
Yeah.
that's like another thing that I've been seeing lately. A lot of females that they're sexier, hotter, and they
Yeah.
put like they do all these like physical showing, which is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like you do whatever you want to do with your social medias. But then I hear the guys in the studios
Yeah,
comparing that.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of like a little bit of a rivalry. They're like, oh fuck, like you get more followers because you're showing yourself.
And they'll always be like that. But then I feel like it's so much the same when guys go online and behave like rock stars and they have their little like Lambos and they're drinking and it's
showing
like,
the Gucci bags and like
it's the exact same thing. So they're selling that lifestyle. But girls can't show their faces. It works both ways, I think.
Yeah,
But like girls don't look at that and be like, oh, like fuck them. They're showing off their Gucci bags. And we don't care.
That's true. That's true.
We really don't care.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like they're very jealous sometimes.
Yeah.
They will come across with that.
Yeah, but are there any people that are like it's not just males in the industry. I just feel like it's like males that aren't getting enough work themselves. Busy males, like busy booked out males and females will never ever judge any other artist of what
That's
they post
true.
online because they don't have time to.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's like I don't have time to deal with anyone.
Yeah,
It's
they've
just
got
me.
enough work. It doesn't matter to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel as well, fortunately, with females, like, you know, we know females could throw a lot of shit between each other. But
Yeah.
I feel like that doesn't, for my personality, it's like, my personal side is like, I don't feel that. I feel like actually your females support you more.
100%.
Which is so good.
Yeah.
Because it gets scary. I'm like, when I start posting photos of videos of myself, again, because the algorithm fuck you. So you have to put your face, otherwise they know you're selling and they don't.
Yeah,
expose
and male
this
or
more.
female, there's a big difference that you can tell between your engagement if you post a personal photo on your work page or if you post your work. Even like I have male friends that like I'll push them to post photos of themselves, so to put themselves out there, and you can see that their engagement is so much higher as well. It goes, like it's the same.
Yeah, but it goes the same way.
Yeah,
That's
like
definitely.
like people online like to see the personality behind the account. So they like those personal photos just as much as they like the work photo, and probably more than they like the work photos.
Yeah, I feel it's a way as well to connect with your clients.
Yeah, that's to be a little bit more human. I think we have to break that barrier too because sometimes clients don't realise we're human. And they'll message us at 1 a.m. and harass us and, expect their drawings to be done on the spot. You know what I mean? So showing that we're human and we have lives is like a very big part of it.
And that's why I'm doing this podcast too. It's like, well, sometimes 5 hours, you're busy or people put headphones on once working. Sometimes I'm like so overwhelmed that I'm like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to finish my tattoo. And it come across sometimes rude, but it's like, no, we're actually good humans. We're actually good persons.
Yeah.
You want to know more about Melanie. You want to know more about your artist. So these are like good options, and TikToks and videos as well too.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is good. Do you have any, back in the days when you were starting tattooing, do you have any representation or like an artist that you were following and being like focusing on, like, I want to be this person?
Definitely.
Was it like always males or females?
No, like there was like males, like art wise, 100%. Like there was like obviously like Carlos Torres and like all those big black and grey artists. But when it came to like personality and how like business was run, it was Tennille from Garage Inc.
Yeah.
So she's one of my dear friends. I've been lucky enough to like travel to LA and Vegas with her and tattoo alongside her. But she owns Garage Inc., which is a female-only shop.
Oh, love
and they've
it.
Obviously been on the covers of like Inked magazines.
I saw
They've done their
that,
lingerie
yes.
shoots.
You look very
she,
hot.
she really like pushed me to post myself more and show that personality because she was the one that proved like she can back her work up and no one ever questions her, and she's like such a pioneer in the industry that's kind of what I wanted to be. Like at the end, like I got that skill level up and I'm like, you know what, she's kicking ass doing what she's doing and no one's questioning her because she's so successful.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
so like
true.
I've been lucky enough for her to kind of like pull me out of my little hole.
Yeah.
And just help me out in that sense.
See, you always need like a good female to help
she
you.
has been such like a role model and she's so supportive. And like if I post up something now, like if I do a photo shoot or something now, she'll share it on her work page, she'll share it on her private page. Like all the girls from the shop will be like all over it. They're so supportive. And that's what you want.
That. Yeah. We'll put her social media in here.
Yeah.
If you guys gonna go check her too.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's amazing and she's a great tattoo artist.
Oh, I love that. I love that because I don't know you, but unfortunately it gets to a point sometimes, again, as a females, you need extra push and you need to prove yourself more.
Yeah,
it's almost like you have to
definitely the
work
case.
double sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like that, but like I feel like you have to work double anyway to try and get ahead in this industry, whether you're male or female. I feel like females just do it more out of like pettiness and spite.
Yeah, true. It could be like that, but it's nothing more rewarding than when you are like females owners of tattoo studio, which we know that is not easy.
Yeah, now it's like, thank God it's a little bit more common, but like Tennille, I think she opened up her shop like 10 years ago, and being the like only female shop, she probably faced like a lot more than what we get to deal with now.
That's true.
But it was people like her that probably broke through those barriers for people like the next generation, like us, to be able to do what we're doing and do it a little bit more comfortably.
Yeah, and you think these representations are definitely gonna influence this industry the way it's, because I'm seeing more female apprentices now in the industry, which is so good.
100%.
So I think that's a good option to see first females and males both ways, definitely, but like literally working their ass off and saying like, hey, yes, I look like maybe like I could be a little soft and everything, but this is what I do.
Yeah.
And take me serious.
Yeah, 100%. Like as long as you're like showing your work and you're like actually pushing the work side of things, you can do whatever you want on the other side, like with, you know.
Yeah. Have you faced any stereotypes in this industry for the past 9 years of being like mainly just a female just because you're tattooing?
Look, the whole assuming I was going to be like a fine line artist and like mandala artist was definitely the stereotype.
Fine line.
Like I got hired just to do that, and I was like, I don't like this. Like, I feel like there's more males that would be probably better at like this fine line stuff or like want to do this kind of stuff. It's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people assumed I'd be using my like face and the fact that I was female to try get ahead in everything. But really, I was just like an anxious girl. Like I don't want anyone to see what I look like. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I will never face it because you look so strong. Like for me, you look like
I had to do like a lot of exposure therapy to like post myself online. So I'd post myself and then have a panic attack for the next week and just not look at my phone. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So like I feel like I got further just posting my work. I felt better about myself when I post my face. I feel worse.
Oh really?
You know?
Yeah. I guess it's this little line between. Now I put you guys out there to myself. Yeah. You open the window to get good comments or shit comments. So you're going to have to deal with that. That's 100%. Exposure. Yeah. That's social exposure.
And then if someone just stumbles upon like one random post where I'm showing myself and they focus on the fact that I'm showing myself and not like the other post that has all my tattoos, that's their fault, not mine.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's like, you guys, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, well, Instagram can be a very nasty place compared to TikTok.
You think?
I've noticed like it's like a thing, like a joke on TikTok, like post this on Instagram Reels because everyone on Instagram is like nastier. So if like they think like a video on TikTok's a little bit cringe or something, they'll be like, "Oh, post on Instagram Reels because you'd get annihilated on Instagram compared to like the community on TikTok's a lot nicer."
Okay,
it's actually crazy.
I didn't know that. Yeah, that's so true.
You get like way nicer comments on TikTok.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's why I push TikTok so much more than I stopped posting on Instagram for a while and was just posting on TikTok.
And that's how you see how TikTok grew so fast too.
Yeah, I grew very, very fast on TikTok and then kind of flatlined. But I grew like, I was like 500,000 followers in like 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's a lot. Yeah, that's true. I'll need to post more on TikTok.
Yeah.
Canvas stuff.
Definitely. Yeah. I reckon it's a lot better. But I mean, you can post on anything. If people have a comment to say, it's not really your problem.
Yeah, but you know what? Like I've been feeling a little bit stuck right now in terms of my work. Like I started as a fine lining. Yeah. And more like a sketch illustration. Oh, yeah. But then I fell in love with like working again in this place that I'm doing. I was working sideways with like Maddie's Made and Brad and Sharp and all of these amazing tattoo artists. And I'm like, I want to learn portrait.
You want to kind of pick up the... And
I started picking up. They were amazing helping me to do that. But then I did a couple of jobs. They were very good and I got good reviews. But because I already built a clientele on the other side, is all I get. Yeah. It's been so hard to go out of it.
It is hard to like change what you want to do. You just I kind of had to stop posting certain things and just kind of reposting the same... like
the same work you've done,
same photos and the same work that I just wanted to keep going. That's why I don't think I posted a line in like years because I just wanted to stop doing lines. Because the second you do, people are gonna be like, "Yeah, let's book it in," because it's like done well.
Yeah, everyone
and like you can do it well. You just don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
So I pretty much only post certain types of work. So I get it. I do pretty much everything. I just won't post it to attract more work.
Yeah, that's true. It makes a lot of sense though.
Yeah.
Whatever you post, you
that's
gotta
pretty
get
much
it back.
what you've got to do. And like even now, like I'm trying to push more into like bits of color and stuff as well. So I'm posting heaps of like asking people to come in for like half price.
Yeah.
Just to experiment, or I'll just have like half price days where like I'm just experimenting. It's like a free reign tattoo. People like love jumping in on that because they just trust my work anyway, so they trust that I won't fuck their skin up.
Yeah, that's a good thing though.
Yeah.
That's a very good
But
advice.
it allows me to like just try different techniques and stuff like that. And nothing's gone wrong yet. So
Yeah, that's good though. Yeah, definitely. You need to put like exposure of what you can do.
Yeah.
Because if you don't show it out there, no one's gonna know what you're capable of.
You have to push yourself always because you might find something that you're even better at or that you enjoy even more. So yeah.
That's good advice. What do you think is I know of course because the history of tattooing, but what do you think is like always been this industry mainly like men's job? Like it's always been looking that way. Do you think because of the story of tattooing?
Honestly, I don't even know. I think like when we look back at it, it's all like that housewife generation. So it's probably wives that didn't even have jobs.
so
to be fair, they probably didn't even have jobs. If they did work, they probably were going to be tattoo artists.
That's true.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because it's not like a rough job. Like you're not under a car or building a house or something. Like we had every reason to be in the industry, but it might have just been a rougher crowd where it might have been maybe a bit more dangerous for women to be in the industry.
Yeah, I feel as well because back in the days was all these bikies and gangs, and it was like kind of like the people that was getting tattooed was a lot of males as well.
Yeah,
which now we're seeing more women's getting tattoos as well, so that opens the window to everything.
And like you know, females when they get tattooed, they want to be comfortable, and like the industry and clientele change to open up both like for the females to come in
as well. Yeah. That's a very good option. And what do you think is like the biggest challenge you have like faced past these years on the industry that you say like it could be your personal or it could be like based on just being the way you look? Or
I think it was just trying to get myself to a point that I wouldn't be like judged or anything. Like it was just trying to like prove myself that I could get somewhere, because there is a lot of females and males that come into the industry and they're probably not as good as they've kind of just been. There's a lot of like apprentices that are kind of thrown in just to be the apprentice, and they're not pushed enough to actually challenge their work and stuff. And because we have such an influx of artists, you have to get to that like skill level, because like the other like all the like not less artists, but like all the slower artists are dropping off and they're having to get other jobs because they're not getting enough work. Yeah. So like, because if we're basing a career off this, we need to get good quick, because I feel like you can really just die off really quickly in this industry.
That's
and
true.
Just not get enough work to survive.
Yeah, definitely either dying or either getting stuck in their art focus. Like I've seen you like you're doing like a gallery exposure art as well.
Yeah, it's like I started like painting again when I got back from Vegas last year. So that's Tennille again. Like that's when I kind of just left Addicted and I was like, I need to go try new things and expose myself, because I was just so stuck in a rut at that point. So that's when I went to Vegas, hung around all these crazy artists. Came back and I'm like, I'm going to paint now. I'm like, I miss this. And I just sat and painted for weeks. So then doing the gallery exposures, I've got friends that are artists. It makes you feel good in a different way. And it also challenges and shows you different techniques to bring back into tattooing as well. And it just all evolves around art, and that's what we're here for.
I follow this girl. She's a tattoo artist, female in LA. She was saying that. She was like, I got getting stuck in my work, like not improving. I felt like, fuck this, I hate this, what I'm doing. And it got to like routine. And that's when I started to go to museums. I started to paint. I did sculpting. Like I was trying all these different art, how do you say, like options to do. And that's when my tattoos got better. Yeah,
because there's a difference between just a tattooist and a tattoo artist. The tattooist will just go to work, make their money, tattoo anything they want. Come home. A tattoo artist will try and challenge themselves and everyone around them to be the best they can be.
Yes, I feel like some people could get very comfortable and say like, well, I'm getting booked. Yeah. I don't need to do anything. I could do 10 lines in 2 weeks if I have to.
The worst feeling ever is doing like a tattoo like that, coming home and just like not feeling good about the tattoo. Like I just could not imagine wanting to do that because it just wasn't something you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like you want to come home and be like, fuck yeah, that tattoo was sick. That was awesome. Let's do that again.
Yeah. Even if you sometimes try something new and you're like, fuck, I should have done better. But at least you tried.
Yeah, but
and
most artists are like that anyway. You could have done the best tattoo of your career and you're going to sit there looking and be like, could have done fucking better.
Yeah, we always criticize ourselves.
Yeah, we are the worst. We're never going to be happy.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, like we'll look at like one part of a tattoo and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But the client won't even notice. Like it's not it's nothing to them. Like it's not a big deal, but we'll stare at it. And it's even at the end of the tattoo, because you've been staring at it for too long, it stops making sense and you can't look at it for the next 24 hours. That's why you don't post straight away sometimes, because you're like the eyes have just walked out on you. It's like when you say the same word over and over again, it stops making sense to you.
It's
exactly how you feel when you're like staring at the same image all day.
100% right. And like now that you're doing all this horror and dark style, do you feel like when you get your clients, they're expecting someone else to tattoo them?
Nah, well, now everyone knows what I look like because
of course.
I've got like such a big personality online. Yeah, they don't really expect anyone else. No.
They know that
they know it's me.
Yeah.
They know it. And like a lot of my clientele are males, to be fair. I do get like a few females, but majority are males.
Yeah. They're more into like big pieces, stuff, big pieces.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of females get the big pieces and that they do come to me for them. But like, majority of my clientele are male, which is strange. I never actually, when I thought about it, I'm like, from like a solid week of tattooing, I get maybe one female. Client,
okay.
Yeah, and the rest are males, yeah.
How do you feel is the interaction like with the clients that you have?
Oh, me and my clients get along so well. I feel like half the time they only come back because we have fun.
The good connection with your artists.
Yeah, and I think that's a big part of it. You want them to have fun and want to come back. You know, like I'll take them out for lunch or we'll go get a beer like halfway through the tattoo, come back and we'll just talk shit. Like I had a client the other week that we jumped on, like I did live on TikTok for the first time and everyone thought we were sisters because we were bantering so well. We just met like an hour prior. It was great.
Oh, I love that. I love when you can click so quick with someone.
Like that's how, because I do my like bookings a certain way because I can tell if I'm not going to get along with someone, and on both ends, like you got to sit there all day with them.
Yes.
And they've got to be comfortable. You've got to be comfortable straight off the bat. If you don't vibe that, not going to book that in, because like especially if you're doing like a back or something, that's like 5-6 sessions you've got to be sitting there for like 6 hours in silence for.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're not going to do your best work feeling
So how do you filter that with your booking system?
I've got like an online form and it kind of like
I saw that in your Instagram.
Yeah, so like it's very straightforward, but then they kind of have to explain like what they want, and I kind of can tell by like
the way they communicate?
The way they communicate, the kind of photos they send me, because like some people will send me some things that aren't even like close to what I post on my Instagram. I'm like, you have not even done enough research to be booking with me, you know, and you have to do research to book with an artist. So like they're the people I can tell that just want to get tattooed by me and not for my work.
Okay.
So like if they're not paying attention to what I tattoo.
Yeah. So they just want to know who you are. Yeah. Because you're such a public figure. They just like.
But there's people that are like that anyway. But they'll be like, no, just like tattoo whatever you want because I love your work and who you are.
Okay.
But then there's people that you can. They'll send me something that's like Like a lot of females will send me like, I want a coloured like butterfly. I'm like, huh? I'm like, where on my profile shows a coloured butterfly?
Yeah, what the fuck?
So I'm like, no, instantly no.
Yeah, cool. So you just prefer to say no thanks.
Yeah, I'll send them to someone that will do a good job of it. You know, like I'll do my best to reply to every email. Like, hey, look, I don't actually do that, but like, if you want, I can like shoot you someone that's in the area that will do something like the best.
Which we always say, like, look, if you want a tattoo out there, do your research.
Yeah,
and just trying to find the best person. If you want like a ornamental piece, trying to find the best artist for an ornamental, because then they'll put it on you. Like, oh, you did a shit job in ornamental. So, well, I fucking do horror. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have a lot of clients who are like, oh, like can you do this one as well? Because they're these regular clients, and like a lot of artists will get shitty that they're like regular will go somewhere else. I'm like, no, go to someone else, please. I'm not going to do that. Like I'm not going to do a great job of it.
Yeah, don't
like
put that
I'll send you some links. Like it's fine. You can go to someone else if you want full blown color. It's not me though.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Do you think like when you have all these styles that you were saying, have you feel like a women influenced the type of designs and styles? Like you say when you were becoming an apprentice. Because you were a woman, they already thought straight away, oh, he's just going to do dots and like geometric.
Yeah.
Do you think that's still going on in this generation on the industry is like swapping in a way
I think we're
that
swapping. I think we are. There's a lot of like, I think like a good part of the like horror artists that I know are female artists. I think we're just a bit more messed up in the head.
yeah.
So, but when I definitely started, I think we were assumed to do like flowers and butterflies and like all that kind of like, because you didn't see that when you saw like old school trad, like you didn't, like all the flowy stuff. The females now, we're going more into that darker, like I think because everyone just has their niche naturally. So even like there's so many males that do like this, like the solid dot work now.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, but they're not getting judged for doing the girly stuff.
That's what I'm saying. They never get judged.
Yeah, no one goes around and goes, "Oh, you're a girly artist."
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So why are you doing dots? Like,
why are you doing dots? Why are you doing flowers?
Yeah.
No one says that. So I think now, like, no one really says, like, why, like, ask me why I do any of the darker stuff. People ask me if I'm okay.
Yeah.
And, like, if my head's all right, but that's about it.
Yeah. I want to say, like, now knowing you for this time, it's like you show, maybe you're doing so well as well. And even, like, your personality matched your style of tattooing.
Yeah.
Like, I can say straight away. Like,
100%.
I will never imagine you doing, like, a little bit of flowers ornamental. No.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why you connected so well with your clients because they're, like,
they're very like-minded, yeah.
yeah, so it's like, fuck, I'm gonna get this tattoo, probably enter the studio and she's gonna fucking listen to heavy music and painting with heavy music, but this is the vibe. Yeah. It's not clutching.
Yeah,
sometimes
100%.
you find that.
Yeah, if I go to like a metal festival, half my clients are there, you know?
Yeah.
Although I went to Juicy Fest the other day and there was a lot of people that recognised me at Juicy Fest. I'm like, this is not my normal clientele. This is very strange.
You can always get a little bit of everything.
Yeah. No, but my clients are very, very like-minded, and we'll sit there, we'll listen to heavy music, we'll, you know, talk shit about that, and, like, we all go to, like, the same bars if I leave my house. And, like, we're all very like-minded, listen to the same bands, you know?
Do you find yourself, you just say that, do you find yourself just staying more inside your own area? You say, like, do you prefer to go out and have fun, or you're more like introvert?
I'm an introvert now. I don't like leaving the house. Like, I'll go out to do my metal festivals and stuff, but otherwise I stay pretty much indoors, and I just try and stay home and paint, or just like if I like socialize, people come to my house and that's it.
To your house.
Like I don't like going out and being in crowds anymore.
Okay. You don't look like it. Like you look like you could be very social out there.
I definitely I'm a homebody and I like being alone.
Okay.
So I think I get so much social interaction at work that's my social environment. So then like
that drains you so much.
And it does, especially if you work in like a very, very busy shop. There's just so much going around you that it's just one of those like silent drive home kind of things. Like you don't want to have the radio on, you don't want anything.
Yeah.
And I just go home and I paint.
That's great.
Yeah.
Like I had a partner and I came home and so many times he's like, blah, 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 how was your day? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
It's actually really hard to explain to your partners.
I'm like, I don't want to be rude with you. I know you work in an office environment. You don't talk to anyone. You want to talk to me the whole night. But I've been talking for hours. Yeah. It's like, I just want to watch a movie, draw, whatever. Don't talk to me anymore.
It's very like, I dated a tattoo artist once and like, it was great because when we were living together, we were working and living together, but we'd come home and just not speak for the rest of the night. Like, that's what we wanted. And then not dating a tattoo artist was completely different, but it's hard for them to understand how like mentally draining it is to sit there and like focus so hard on like one thing all day. Yeah. Especially like if you do those long hours, you're focusing on the same image, then you've got to go home and design the next day's image as well.
100%. Yeah. Like, especially when the connection was so good that they throw you so much traumas and then you like being the psychologist of them.
When they trauma dump on you, it's actually very, very exhausting. I'm like, you're allowed to talk to us about things, but some of the things like that have come out of my clients' mouths, you go home and you're just in awe still. You just got to stare at a wall for a while. It's not good.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think is something that as a females is bringing to this industry? Like is a plus that now more women are in the industry, maybe in terms of how do you say, like customer service? Because I feel like we got a little bit more soft touch.
We definitely set the standard on not standard, but like, you know, I think we're just kind of like softer humans for the most part, and like a lot of clients feel very much more comfortable around us, and we can communicate a little bit better sometimes. Yeah. But I think we're just kind of trying to up the level in the game for a lot of people because there's so many more people in the industry. Yeah. And we bring that kind of softness and like you know, because we have to try a little bit harder, we're challenging everyone as well. Yeah,
definitely. Like my buddy Brad, he was like, "Oh, this is shit customer service though." He's a big guy and he's like, he doesn't like communicating with humans in general, but it's like, you need to approach better. Like,
Yeah.
and we, one way or
males can
another.
be very, very grumpy. For people, like, they
Yeah.
really accuse us for being grumpy once a month. But I feel like they come across more grumpy than us. Like, we
100%.
really just have to go in there and smile and look pretty sometimes.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Because they're like sometimes they could be very bland.
Yeah.
They will say things and people will take it the other way. So it's like,
Yeah, and I think that, like, that high testosterone comes across negatively. And I think they face that challenge as well, where they probably don't mean to look that negative.
yeah, that's true. And in that same way, I had found clients, like big friend clients, full tattoo, neck tattoos, that they say, I actually enjoy more going to full on and all female tattoo artist studios.
Yeah.
I don't feel as much as like, you know, when you come into like full men's and they're just too much testosterone and they like feel like judged.
Yeah. There's just too much in the air and it's like a bit too thick and everyone's challenging each other a little bit too much. Where I feel like when you throw females into a shop, like a good balance as well, it's not like no one's like not necessarily challenging each other, but no one's competing with each other. You know, I feel like we bring a balance to shops.
Yes.
Which is very much needed. And like there is like all female shops where it can be a little bit bitchy and a little bit too much. So, you know, but there has to be a good balance in a shop, I think, and the right kind of like group of people working together.
It comes as well as long as the personalities, because I know tattoo artist males as out there that they're teddy bears.
Yeah,
like, they're like fuck you.
Yeah, and then they couldn't be thrown into like, you know, full on shops, like male dominated shops, because they would freak out.
And people will take advantage of them. I'm like, you're like 3 times my size, full neck tattoo, and I'm like, I have to stood up for you.
100%.
That is so funny. But yeah, definitely like both of them is a good balance.
Yeah, 100%.
To have in a studio. What does empowerment mean to you as a tattoo artist, right? Like in these days?
Oh, okay. I might need to think about that one.
I feel it comes in different ways. Like it could be through your social medias as well, the way you're reflecting yourself out there.
Yeah, like my social media has been very, very good for me. And it's been very good for like other female artists, like seeing that you can grow and you can become like to the point I am. Like when I saw like my like female artist friends doing so well and doing what they did, like, you know, like Tennille, like her photo shoots and stuff, and doing really well, it really made me want to push and do the same thing and keep trying. So hopefully I can do that for a few people as well, and prove that females can be doing what I'm doing and be successful doing what I'm doing without being accused of just using their body and their looks.
But they're always gonna do that.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's why you gotta have something to fall, like actually like have good work to be like, no, who cares if I do it? I'm still tattooing great anyway.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. And I feel like seeing your social medias is very empowering from my side, seeing that. Because I'm like, she's doing a stuff that I will never want to be capable of doing.
Yeah, and well, I thought the exact same thing. That's what I mean. So hopefully it makes other girls like want to do the same thing, as long as you like can back it up.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's always grown men that, you know, can't pull a straight line, that are yelling at you in the comments saying that, you know, using your face and your stuff. It's just like, focus on, you know, doing a clean tattoo. Don't focus on what I'm posting on social media.
That's true. Yeah, if you go to their links, it's like they're probably saying a bunch of bad, nasty things out there, causing their work, and it's like, you're a shit tattoo artist.
Yeah,
so
that's what I mean.
Mouth.
So no one that's actually a good artist or booked out artist will sit there and complain about it.
Yeah, but I guess as well from more female side too, and leaving aside the art part, is like it comes to a lot of insecurities. Like as a woman, we've seen how you expose yourself in social media and you just get a lot of shit. Like it's common that you get like roasted and everything just because they always gonna judge. They're always gonna judge. So seeing that is like, well, like is I will never be able to do it because my insecurities. Yeah. But that looks amazing.
Yeah, like, it's always like little baby steps. Like I've had people accuse me of not being able to actually draw because I'm a black and grey like realism artist, so most of my stuff is photoshopped. Okay. And then I'll post up my drawings and they're like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, there it is.
That's a good feeling though.
It is, yeah.
Shutting their mouth. And
that's why imagine if I couldn't actually draw and I couldn't actually tattoo, but I'm posting all this stuff and people are calling me out, I'd be like, oh crap, they're right.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's why we do have to prove ourselves. Yeah. If we're putting ourselves out there.
But that's a good mindset too. I'm not just putting myself up there because I just have a pair of titties. It's like I have my art and my work to back me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good feeling though.
Yeah, but there's like females in the industry that I'll tell, like, what's her name? Ariel DeHoos or something on TikTok.
Yeah.
She like just butchers people's skins, you know.
Yeah.
We've been like, not me personally, but like everyone on TikTok's been trying to shut her down for a while because she's very unhygienic. But she puts the rest of us down as being a female in the industry because she just acts cocky online and she thinks because she's a female she can get away with it.
Yeah, I'm talking about that last episode. We were talking about these tattoo schools.
Yeah, there's a lot of controversy with them at the moment.
Yes, and there were this girl in I don't know, I think Canberra, but she's been doing this school for like a 5 days. You learn, and it's a 5K course, and it's fine line. Sandwich gloves.
It's kind of the same as like it's the cosmetic tattooing.
It's cosmetic tattooing, like single needle, and I'm like, wow, are you doing that?
Yeah. No, I don't know why that's a thing now, but it's
And they're making it all pink and like
make it very girly. But then there's a lot of like male, like I've noticed, like it's very old school that males. Because I haven't seen a female artist do this, but they make their apprentices pay to be an apprentice. There's a few people in Melbourne that I've heard have done it. It's big in America, which is a similar thing, but like paying $5K to learn how to tattoo, like, that's wild to me.
Yeah, and they give you like certification printed of war paint, like a war page.
It means nothing. Like unless you can claim Centrelink while you're doing an apprentice, because it's not actually like considered an apprenticeship.
But imagine you coming, like, for me, it's like you as this little girl went and thought you learned in 5 days, pay 5K. You showed up to my studio with a little word paste.
We would never take that seriously. You kind of feel so bad for it, but it's like
bad.
Like, pay attention. Like, there's people online saying not to do that. Yeah. And if you still go ahead and do that, you're the stupid one.
Yes, definitely.
Because, like, pretty much no one will hire you. And the only places that would hire you are the schools that are doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's shit. But again, like, seeing females doing that, it's like, why?
Yeah,
We've been working so hard.
It's not making us look better, but it's that cosmetic industry that's really screwing us over a little bit.
Yeah, so no, just keep those separated.
Yeah. Cosmetic tattooing is a whole different ballpark. I'm not going to start doing people's eyebrows and eyeliner because I know how to hold a machine. Yeah. That's a whole different game. I'm not going to be able to do that. Yeah. And it goes both ways. They shouldn't assume that they can tattoo as well.
And like when I use, they literally put in because we have a look last episode, they put the same description needles. So single needle tattoos.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, I'll see you in 1 week how that heals.
Yeah. And because like there is great fine line artists that they should actually hold, so it's making them look really bad as well.
Yeah, and females that I know as well. It's like it's pretty shit, but do your research definitely.
Yeah, that's with everything. Do your research. If you're silly enough to go to an artist that isn't, has been in school for 5 days, but so there's always the type of people that open up a private studio.
Oh, the garage studios thing.
Yeah. They'll never actually be like in a tattoo shop. They'll just get a private studio. They'll hire out a little space at a beauty shop.
I've seen those so much.
Yeah.
I've seen clients coming from that people to the studio to get work redone.
Yeah. They just cover ups and fix ups and
and again they like. This is a hard time. People just getting for more cheaper tattoos, whatever.
But half the time, it's not even cheaper, I don't think, because cosmetics so much more expensive, and then you have to pay double to get it fixed.
I'm like, you're not doing your maths.
Yeah. Well, that could be a thing. A lot of clients will go to these women because they might become more comfortable being in that like beauty salon environment. Mm-hmm. So
because it looks more girly, less
that
heavy.
Might be the whole other thing that we might need to actually look into about why people are going to these types of artists.
Yeah, which I have mixed opinions on that too. Like I feel like a tattoo studio needs to go along with the tattoo artists they have. That's the vibe. If you go with your like Raven Hollow, it looks like dark and heavy, and it looks amazing. Looks sick.
Yeah, they're just top tier.
Exactly, they are. But they're like that's the vibe. Yes. Yeah. Now, if you're looking for something, because client will choose the studio, because imagine you like having your first tattoo.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel so like overwhelmed coming to these places. Yeah. In real life, everyone is lovely, but the first impression is like,
especially if you're like a young female coming in for your first tattoo, and it's just like that kind of like environment can really like scare you a little bit.
Yeah.
Even like I get males that have come in like multiple times and they still get a little bit scared sometimes, you know, because it's just like there's so many people around. It's still nerve-wracking being around so many people.
Yes.
So you got to try and calm that down.
That's why it's good to have females as well to balance it out and maybe make it more friendly. Doesn't mean that men's are not. They just look tougher.
they just come across intimidating straight off the bat by accident.
Is so normal.
Yeah.
When you're talking about your clients, it's like, have you had clients that they come to you because you're a woman, like they feel like they're more comfortable with you because just of you're women, or mainly just based on your work?
I do have people that come to me because like I've got like regular clients that have always come to me because they are comfortable with me. So there is times where I'll do those like floral, like realism. I'll still stick to realism, but I'll do those tattoos on clients because they've hit me up and, you know, they've had bad experiences with male artists and they, you know, they like how I present myself online. They kind of trust.
Yeah.
They kind of feel like they could trust me. So I actually do get that quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I've had like clients tell me some horror stories about some male artists they've gone to and just how uncomfortable they are. And
look, we've been seeing not long ago, like a few years ago, what happened with tattoo artists as well.
Yeah, it's even like still happening now, like a lot.
Yeah.
And you feel really like, and they're not making themselves look any better doing this stuff.
It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
We're dealing with the tattoo schools, but you guys are dealing with something worse, like way worse.
100%. But then I've got male colleagues that are just fantastic with their female clients.
Yeah.
So it's shit on them that they get a bad rap for these like other dudes that are, you know, a bit touchy or like a bit rude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good thing though.
Yeah.
But you just say like most of your clients are males.
Yeah. But when the females come in, it's like a good percentage of them have had horror stories with males.
Wow.
Or,
That's so sad.
It is really, really sad, and it puts like a really bad. Like, you don't want people to be traumatized coming into a shop.
Definitely
like, it's meant to be a good experience. So, it's, when I've had females hit me up and tell me some things and I'm like, that makes me so mad.
Yeah, of course. And, like, as you just say, like, one male did it, they're not coming back to any males.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
that's trauma done. That's set in stone. That's not reversible.
Yeah, that's very sad. And have you ever come across the other way when a male have approached you because they know who you are and they're like, interested and being almost naughty, and it's like,
I try and like I said, I have my online form so I can kind of get that vibe, but I did have someone like corner me when I was tattooing once, so they had booked in with someone else at the shop because I wasn't responding to the emails because they came across a bit full on for me.
Yes.
And then, they ended up cornering me in the shop and forcing me to book them in. And then, it was kind of okay the first couple of sessions. That's why I kept rebooking. And then I think it was the last session ever, but it ended up being the last session ever because I wasn't going to tattoo him again. He asked me out mid-session. Yeah. And I was just like, no, we're giving you that vibes. Yeah. Because when I tattoo males, I act like a bloke. Yeah. I don't act flirty or anything like that because I don't want that. I don't want anyone asking me out.
Yeah, I'm a little bit the same. Even when I was in school. Yeah. I used to be another boy with everyone.
I would just fake that I had a boyfriend. Like when I was starting out, I'd fake it. So shit. But so then no one would even assume that was that they could do that.
Yeah. It's sad. Yeah. It's very sad you have to do that. Yeah. It's almost like you were saying you're going to go to LA and traveling by yourself as a woman. It's a little bit more to think and be prepared. Yeah,
it's definitely a little bit scary, but I feel safe in tattoo shops. So like traveling to work and stuff doesn't really scare me too much. It's just when I'm going out doing other things that scares me a little bit.
Well, LA is a little bit fucked right now.
Yeah, but like when I go to America, I find like the Americans are so nice. Like they'll come up to me in the street, compliment me, like, buy me a drink. Like, they're very, very lovely. Where here, people just look down and keep walking. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So they are lovely. I do feel safe. Just like I wouldn't put myself in certain situations over there.
Yeah, true. Have you been to Japan?
I've been twice.
How was that?
I loved Japan.
Yes?
Yeah.
How was it? People staring at your street or
honestly,
something?
we had like no issues. So I went with my partner at the time and he was like very, very covered with tattoos. And he had a little Snoopy tattoo on his face. And I think more people stopped him saying Snoopy on his face because they loved it. So we didn't have any, like, I've had friends that have gone to Japan and not been let into Disneyland and stuff.
Yeah, wow.
And, like, my ex was way more covered than them and we had not a single issue.
That's amazing.
Saying that, we didn't go try and eat in bougie restaurants or anything. True. We knew what our limit was. Yeah. Yeah, we had no issues and everyone was lovely. Yeah. We just hung out in the places that we knew we wouldn't have issues. I was a bit worried about Disneyland, but nothing.
Yeah, you know what happened to me? I went to Japan a few years ago. I definitely don't have as much a tattoo as you do, but people will stare in the streets. And then we were in Nara, and I was with my partner, and we went. I was like, I want a tattoo in Nara.
Yeah.
So I went. I entered to this studio, Japanese studio with 2 levels, 1 bar, and at the top one was the studio.
Yeah.
Got in, and they were all Japanese guys.
Yeah.
I didn't saw any female. I mean, they couldn't speak much English, but we did translate it with some Japanese people try their best. So it's
I
the
know.
best.
They're just so their
So
customer
accommodating.
service so
yeah,
important.
so important. And then I was like, well, we're gonna book a tattoo. And then he said, like, come back at 6. The owner of the studio will be here.
Yeah.
Rock up. It was this Japanese old lady. Badass.
So cool.
Badass. I forgot her name. It's a Japanese name, so it's like hard to.
Oh my God, that would have been so empowering.
Oh my God,
Would've
she
loved
was
that.
a badass, and she was like, the whole studio was covered in like Japanese suits.
Oh, I
peel
love that,
off
yeah.
skin and some like photos of tattoos.
Yeah.
And then we have a seat. She speaks perfect English.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, I've been traveling to America heaps. Like, I haven't been to Australia, but I mean in all these places.
Oh, that's
She's
amazing.
massive. And she was like, well, where are you going? I was like, look, I just want a small tattoo for like a souvenir of Japan.
Yeah.
She was like, look, I'll do full suits.
Yeah.
So my range is like massive.
Yeah.
But I got this amazing apprentice, he'll do it for you. Before I even met her, I remember now, I entered the studio and I was like, well, and the guy was talking to my partner the whole time, the tattoo, the apprentice. And I'm like, my partner was like, cool, looking at me. And I'm like, I'm the one gonna get tattoo. And he looked at me, he was like, oh, you're gonna get tattoo. Like, because I was a girl. Like this small girl. And I was like, yeah, yes. And he was like, oh, you want me to tattoo you? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, that's all right. And then when I told them that I was a tattoo artist in Australia and I showed them my work, they were like, blow their mind.
Yeah, wow.
And this apprentice, because, you know, in Japan, hierarchy is a massive thing.
Yeah.
So this apprentice, because he was an apprentice as he was tattooing me, which I was being tattooed for a few years already.
Yeah.
He was treating me like he was like, you happy with this? Like, with needle?
that's so
I was
cute.
like, oh my God, you're so
Oh,
sweet.
no, that's lovely. Yeah,
but then we
wow.
have a chat with her. That would be interesting to one day have her. She's
Yeah,
insane.
that would be great. It would be like cool to hear that, and I think that's a really badass move. you know,
Yes.
being like
Even more in
doing-
Japan.
Yes, especially in Japan, because like when I see female artists in Japan, a lot of them do like that really cute color. Like what's I can't even remember what the style. Like I could never do it. That like pastel-y.
Oh,
like neo, like that crazy.
Or
Like there's
the
so many like artists in like
baby colors.
yeah, and like
use.
that kind of like grey white. That shit's wild. But
Yeah.
like there's so many girls in Osaka that do that style, and I love it. I just
Yeah, but definitely like in there as well, being a woman, she say like, I have to prove myself.
Yeah.
And now I have to the point that she said like, when we have dinner, I'm sitting in the corner, like on the top of it.
Yeah.
Because that's how much they respect me, but it's something that I have to earn.
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, oh gosh, she would have been doing it for a long time.
Oh
so,
yeah, she's been passing 3 generations.
Jesus,
So
yeah.
she was like 40 something.
Yeah,
and I
I
was
think
like,
I think a lot of female tattoo artists started. Like we probably got a bit bigger because like their parents probably were in the industry already. Because it would have been very hard for people outside of the industry to get in the industry being a female. I
that's
think.
true.
Yeah, I've never actually thought of that.
They probably wouldn't be trusting you.
Yeah.
You gotta have like someone that is your cousin, your uncle, and say like,
Yeah.
hey, she wants to do it. Otherwise,
Yeah,
they'll
that's
never.
probably how we got slowly more accepted into doing it. Because I don't think like years ago, like a female could just walk in off the street and be like, "Hey, I want an apprenticeship." They'd probably laugh at us, and that's probably how people ended up scrubbing toilets and stuff.
Yeah, that's
back in the
true.
day.
That's true. Do you feel like is any barrier still nowadays that we need to break into in the industry?
I don't
as a
think so.
women?
I think we're actually really, really. I think in Australia we are lucky. Like I would love to travel to Europe and see what the dynamic is over there, but I think we're actually pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very common seeing more apprentices.
I think that we're actually getting to a point there might be more female artists coming. I think it's like otherwise a good balance, or there's more of us now.
Yeah, and I feel the good thing is seeing more females with females supporting each other.
Yeah,
That's something that
100%.
it has to still keep going.
Yeah, 100%.
Otherwise, if we're still bitching between each other, it would be like,
Yeah, well, if we're bitching between each other, what chance do we have with everyone else?
yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And that's great seeing more tattoo owners, women's out there.
Yeah.
More just female studios.
Yeah.
Is it anyone that crossed your mind to have your own studio?
Look, everyone tells me to do it, and honestly, it's not something that interests me at all. I want to be able to pick up and leave and go travel and do whatever I want and not have to be responsible for anyone else.
Yeah.
you know, because I've already got like my house and stuff that like I feel like a little bit trapped having that, and I don't have to be responsible. I'm only responsible for my pets. But like, you know, I just want to travel and keep doing that, and then I like being able to just walk and leave the shop and not have to, you know, buy stock or do this, you know.
Yeah, definitely. It's a full time commitment.
Yeah, that's a whole other headache. I'm happy doing what I'm doing and like having the freedom that I have to do what I want.
What are you going to do after going to LA? How long are you going to stay there?
I'm there like 2 weeks. I think I might pop up to Brisbane. I've got some friends flying down from LA to do, they're touring in Australia. So they want me to come up to Brisbane. So I might tattoo in Brisbane for a couple of days. I'm going to Florida in May because I'm going there for a festival, a metal festival. So I might tattoo in Florida because I haven't done that one yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to do Inked Expo coming up.
Yeah.
I got invited to the WA Expo and an expo in Salem in America.
Okay.
And I really want to go to Salem.
Yeah,
because I feel like my clientele would be perfect there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You'll rock in there one.
Yeah, and that will be at the end of the year. So and I think that will be my year booked out.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to plan too much.
That's a lot.
Yeah, because I did quite a bit of traveling last year. So I need to kind of relax a little bit.
Yeah. I feel like you'll be a good target for like Germany too.
Yeah, I think I want to do like a proper like Europe trip, but because there's a band I want to see over in Europe, but they're on like a 2-year hiatus right now, so I'm waiting. Yeah. So I'm like, I'll do like a full Europe tour when that band starts touring again and go tattoo over there.
It's almost like you're following your bands and tattooing whatever.
Yeah, well, if I'm gonna live it properly, you know what I mean? And because like Europe, like it's expensive to go over there. It's like quite a big thing you have to organize. So like I might as well do it all at once and like add in these festivals and like do it properly and do it while I'm young and I don't like break a leg or something, you know what I mean?
And that's where like that's the freedom of what we do.
Exactly. And
you fucking pack everything and you can
it's very,
get your
very
own
lucky.
team.
Like if I was to date anyone now, I just don't think I could date someone with a 9 to 5 because I want to be able to pack up and go like last because I think I booked Vegas like 2 weeks before I went to Vegas to work, you know what I mean?
I like
that. Being able to do that.
Yeah, that's
and I like
good.
Otherwise like, you know, they would have to be able to do the same. It would be like you know?
It's different.
Yeah.
Having a relationship is a full-time commitment too.
yeah.
Which is nothing wrong, but yeah, I'm actually going to Guts of Ink just as a looking at it. I'm not gonna be working.
I'd love to do that one day.
But it looks amazing. It's one of the biggest ones, no, in Europe.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the biggest in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to do Incarnation. I think I can't remember what part of America that is, but it's a 4-day metal festival and a 4-day convention, tattoo convention.
At the same time?
All at the same time.
What? That's amazing.
Yeah, so I wanted to do that this year, but I think there's too much going on this year. I'm going to aim for next year.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I don't think I would be tattooing, to be fair. I think I'd be like just kind of bouncing around everywhere, having the time of my life.
That's
just
great.
meeting people. That's half of it, meeting people. Yeah. And because I travel so much and I go to these conventions and like I'm friendly to everyone, I think that really works well in my favor because I'm friends with everyone.
Yeah. It's networking.
If you're going out being bitchy to everyone, of course they're going to
You're not going to be welcome anyway.
Yeah.
And you're not going to come back to the places you've been anyway.
Yeah, and I'll get invited to go to all these places because I'm friendly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you definitely look friendly. Tough but friendly.
Yeah.
That's the best thing, that people think that you are a bad person and it's like, surprise. It's not.
Everyone's terrified of me before they meet me. Everyone is terrified.
I was. When I saw you, I have to admit it. When I saw you the first time in the expo, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah,
she looks
I got resting bitch face. It's really bad. So, like, that doesn't help me at all. But, like, so especially at conventions, like, you have to try and smile because you're like in my head, I'm like, you look like an asshole. Please smile. And it's like Monday and you're like,
ow.
Face hurts. Oh, yeah. Yes. You have to because, like, people don't know that you're a nice person because you don't look that way.
But no, I think it was more because, like, you know, tattoo expos are busy. You gotta put your headphones on, your music, so you're focused, and it's like, fuck, if I interrupt her, you're gonna get a punch or something. It's like, I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yeah.
But no, like, I'm very happy to see that you are the person you are. Like, thank you so much for making as well. Is there any advice that you're gonna give women's out there to start in this industry?
To start in the industry?
Yeah.
I think go to a shop, like if you're going to find an apprenticeship, go to a shop that you're comfortable with as well and that has strong female leads that can help push you to the way you push, should be pushed. Yeah. I mean, it's fine working in a male shop, but I think you need those like idols sometimes.
True.
To kind of show you how to break through those barriers. Because you can fall into the niches where you're probably going to get assumed that you're like going to do certain styles of tattoos or they might not treat you as well. So if you just skip over that part and just go to a nice, a shop that's got like reputable with their apprenticeships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then just keep focusing on your work and not yourself for a little bit. I mean, you do that anyway with any career, and I think that was more what was in my head. I was just like, I need to get good, and I didn't like, you know, while I was trying to build up the following, I didn't go out, I didn't drink, I didn't really have a social life. And now that I got there, I'm like, yeah, I can go have a drink, I can relax a little bit now because I've got myself there.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think, yeah, just focus on that.
Yeah, definitely. And do you feel like as well, like when you start to posting yourself, because again, you didn't do it for a few years, when you posted yourself and you start to connect it to your how can I say, community?
Yeah.
Is this when you like rock and went to New Zealand?
Yeah, when I started kind of posting on TikTok and like, I show a bit of personality on TikTok, but I'm not one of those like get ready with me and I'm going to talk shit type of person. I need to try and
I can't see you like that.
I need to try and push it because I feel like I need to show more of that side.
Okay. Is it something that you feel comfortable doing?
I feel like I'll slowly get there. Like I feel like it would be good if I start doing more stuff and people can kind of learn more about me and like the industry and stuff like that. But yeah, just and like when I started posting, like I'll show my face, show my tattoos, and then that's how I got like 500,000 in like 6 months.
People get intrigued for who you are. Yeah, it gets to the point.
Yeah,
and you get so many followers because some of them are not probably not have tattoos, but they're like, who is this girl with like face tattoos?
Yeah,
and
like when I show my paintings on TikToks and I do the reveal, people say half the time because they look at me and they're like, this has to be something good. Because imagine if it was something bad.
But because you are your own brand. Yeah. That's what it is.
And that's what you do, have to create your own brand being an artist, 100%. You have to sell yourself a lot. I'm
going to take that advice because I don't do it
You definitely have to create your own brand. Like in a lot of places I go, people like, because they see the chain and because you can't see the blonde hair now, but I'm known for the blondes in my hair.
You used to have like a half color or something.
No, I've got like the little blondes kind of like throughout my hair. People see that and they recognize me straight away, and it's just that's how I look and that's who I am. Yeah. So that's like my own little brand I've created. And like if you look at my paintings, like you'll be able to tell it's one of my paintings from a mile away.
It's a very specific style. It's not like everything. You just put your sign in everything you do and who you are. Yeah. And that's selling, and it's selling good because it's unique. Yeah. So that's what you want.
That's it's me branding myself.
Yeah, and if you expose yourself again, just probably an advice would be like, be tough and just don't let you throw down because from other people.
I mean, the more you put yourself on the internet, the more you're opening up, you know, bad things. Like I had a guy for I think like 2 years tell me I was going to hell in every post, and like all my stuff was satanic and. Like even if it wasn't something satanic, if I did like a musician portrait, it'll be like, you're going to hell, sister. I'm like, what, sister? And it got to a point like I did have to end up blocking him because it felt like it was getting a bit threatening. Yeah. So I'm like, you know, but you're gonna get that. You just have to ignore it because you have to start paying attention, you know, to the better comments, or just because I run solely of pettiness. If people start posting that, I'm gonna post something better. The next time I'm going to post better art that they have nothing to say about.
Yes, definitely.
So that's what you got to keep doing. Just keep posting more and more. There's always going to be people that are negative online.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't focus on that.
Yeah, I don't like. Sometimes I'll have a glass of wine and I'll start trolling them back. But like, I'll be like, yeah, you're right. I am actually really shit. And they're like, shit, I'm sorry. I actually didn't mean it. I'm like, there it is. Like, you just wanted to be funny, didn't you?
You know what's the funniest part? That people that are behind the screens, you see them face to face, they'll never say anything to you.
Oh, never. No.
They're pussies. They'll never say anything.
Nah. Never.
Okay, so just about to finish, Melanie, is there any experience that you ever had with a client? Like funny, we asked this to all of our guests.
Okay, funny. I got a lot of funny things.
Yeah. Or weird, and you say like, fuck, I will never forget this.
I had this younger client once, and I was just doing a touch up on him, and it was like 8 a.m. And I had a full day after that, so he came in nice and early, he sits down, I'm setting up. He's like, I killed someone yesterday. I'm like, what?
Wait, what?
I'm like, it's 8 a.m. firstly. That's the first thing that came out of your mouth. But it was all over the news. He accidentally hit someone in his work car that ran a red light on their bike. And he must have been so traumatized that it came out. Obviously, because I've tattooed him enough, he felt comfortable, but I'm like, cunt, it's 8 a.m. It's too early for this.
I used to throw it to you, like...
You know, and I tattoo like quite a few sex workers and stuff, and sometimes the stuff they blurt out, I'm like, wow, I didn't need that image in my head.
Well, I never heard that before. Like, I just killed someone. I did have a client once, and I was tired of him. The sweetest guy ever. and I was tattooing him. I did notice that in his leg he has like the prison stuff they put it in when they let them go.
Yeah, I've tattooed people with those what do they call it? With that ankle bracelet?
The ankle thing? Yes.
No.
Anyway, those ones. And then I was tattooing him and I was like being like friendly. Hey, and he was like, oh, I love the design. I was tattooing his snake, I think, somewhere here. And I was like, well, when was the last time you got tattooed? And he was like, 4 years ago. And I was like, but in that moment I didn't saw that. I was like, where were you? And he was like, oh, I was in prison. I was
yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I had a client that he was on parole in a different state, because most of my clients fly interstate to get tattooed by me.
Oh, I love it.
And he flew under his brother's name to get tattooed by me because he wasn't allowed to leave the state. And there was one time he didn't show up to his appointment, and I messaged him and his partner messaged back and she's like, oh yeah, he got locked up. He went back to prison. I'm like, for breaking his parole. I'm like, makes sense.
Now we can finish this thing. Yeah, that's.
So I'm just waiting for him to get back out. Hopefully, I'm not going to let him come back when
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that at first.
That's true. It's so much random shit that you see out there.
Yeah, in tattoo shops we see some wild stuff. You know, like I've seen clients get like go on K-holes in the shop because they think overdosing themselves is going to make it better getting tattooed.
I've seen that. And
it happens quite often. Like if you're going to take stuff, tell us firstly, but probably not ketamine.
Yeah.
Don't take ketamine.
We saw one doing both of them, like coke and ketamine.
Yeah.
And he threw up. They ended up giving him a shower in the apartment out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think it might be an addiction.
Oh, no, he was getting that, and then he gave him a shower, and once he like fucking with a hose, like giving him a shower, he'll be like, so are we keep going?
We need like a sign at the front of the shop, like, we'll call your mother if you put yourself in that position.
I agree with that.
Yeah. We need to call their mothers.
Don't do that, or let us know before.
Yeah, let us know if you take anything. We're not going to judge you, but we're going to know whether you're asleep or you're actually ODing. Like, there's
dead.
You know how like some people, like, they just fall asleep? So, like, I don't know, if you've taken something and you're actually passing out, we're not going to know unless you tell us.
I mean,
it's really dangerous.
It's very easy to tattoo, but let us know because we're, like, fucking shaking the ball.
Yeah, like, when my clients do tell me, there'll be once in a while where the client will look asleep and I kind of like a little bit. No, but I'm like, okay, they're good. You know, we need to be able to do that.
That is so funny how much shit we need to deal with. That's
it's literally not just doing art. It's like pretty much really taking care of
dealing this,
being their therapist,
the resuscitator, the first person to help everyone to revive. Like it's a lot of shit going on. But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So one thing that all my guests do as well. Feel free to do it. We signed the doggy.
Okay.
So feel free to sign it up, pick everything you want.
Okay.
I'll give you which favorite color?
Red. Red is my favorite.
Yeah, cool. I'll give you Thank you guys for being here. This is our episode with Melanie. Thanks, Melanie, again. Which size do you want? You can move him around. We're gonna put all our social medias in here. Please click like, share, subscribe. Good. Oh, I love this one.